A lot happened yesterday, the 2020 Grammy Awards specifically. But before we get to that, I did want to go on ahead and give a quick rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, Carrie, John, and Alyssa Altobelli, Christina Mauser. I believe it was Peyton and Sarah Chester, and also Ara Zabayan or Zabian, something like that. I believe. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the last name incorrectly, but it was such a terrible thing to see one of the greatest of all time, along with his daughter, passing in such an unfortunate way. Probably the most devastating thing that happened in 2020 by far. You know, Kobe Bryant and his methods and the way he moved are just admirable from a human perspective. He transcended the world of basketball into total athleticism and ended up being a model citizen, or a model just for humanity in general, to show that whatever you're doing, whether you are an artist, whether you are an athlete, whether you are an actor, whatever it may be, to give 110% at all times, and the results that it'll yield. And I think the worst part, the most sad part about it is just how most of the time we get to a point in our lives where we're finally able to rest and look back on all the accomplishments and all the work that you put in to get to your rest period. And I think around the age of late 30s, early 40s is when you get to that rest period, when you're able to sit back and look at all that you worked so hard for, and you can finally sit down and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And I think he was just getting around to that point, obviously looking for more work to do with his own daughter, helping her become an icon for young women and just for people in general as well. Just seeing that he was just entering that phase of his life and it was cut short is just devastating news. These were truly a part of my core, a part of my foundation, and me not even being the biggest sports fan looked at him as, this is the work ethic that you need to have moving forward if you want to attain any kind of results in anything. So having that be a loss, not only as a young black guy, but also just as a young man, as a young woman, if you're looking to Kobe Bryant as an example, that's not a bad place to start at all. When I think of the word idol, his is one of the first faces that comes up. To imagine a guy like that pouring all of that talent and all those qualities into a younger and what would end up being a more powerful version of himself and his daughter, the things that she could have became, and it was also cut short, is just horrible news to hear. So again, rest in peace to everyone aboard, and you know, everybody just got to keep moving forward and appreciate those around you, because it like I said, it can really end at any point, at the drop of a dime. Now that we're kind of through the worst news, let's get to the 2020 Grammys. I saw Tyler, the Creator's performance, and I gotta say, after the news that I had on Sunday, that's kind of exactly the energy that I wanted to see. I know a lot of people had their issues and their problems with his performance. I don't know why. If you've heard IGOR, I don't get what the performance really does that's that much different from the track that he did perform, New Magic Wand. He also brought Boyz II Men and Charlie Wilson out. I just thought that energy is exactly what is needed. You know, we don't always need to have elegance. Everything needs to be so well put together. I just liked and appreciated the energy that he brought to the stage, and I felt it. We're all here for the picks, see if any of my predictions came true, and look at the Grammy winners. I haven't heard anything yet, so we're gonna look into this for the first time, and we're gonna see how I feel about it. So I'm gonna go on ahead and start with the rap song that won Grammy out of Bad Idea from YBN, Corday, Gold Roses from Drake and Rick Ross, which I absolutely despise, Racks in the Middle from Roddy Ricch and Nipsey Hussle, and Suge from DaBaby. A Lot won from J. Cole and 21 Savage. I like that pick a lot. I thought it was easily the best song out of that lineup. I mean, the writing was great. I thought 21 was really transparent. I thought he was really mature. J. Cole as well as usual. Easily was the best song out of the list, and I think it definitely deserved that Grammy. Happy to see 21 Savage take it home. Happy to see J. Cole take it home. What more can I say? And I did pick this one, so I'm happy about that. Winner for rap performance is Racks in the Middle from Nipsey Hussle and Roddy Ricch, out of Middle Child from J. Cole, Suge from The Baby, Down Bad from Dreamville, and Clout from Offset and Cardi B. I believe I chose Suge from The Baby for this one. I didn't say much about Racks in the Middle, though I do still enjoy the song after coming back to it a couple weeks after I did my predictions list. I didn't really probably give that song too much time of day, but it isn't that bad. I still enjoy it, so I'm not mad that Nipsey Hussle and Roddy Ricch took that one home. Definitely even more so now that Nipsey Hussle is gone, and you know his name deserves to be honored. Urban contemporary album that I chose for the win was Saturn from Now. I did want that one to win because I did think it was the best album out of this lineup. Urban contemporary, it seems a little weird that there are, and we'll kind of get into that. It seems a little weird that there are no, you know, Caucasian acts in this list. I don't even believe Jessie Reyez is, you know, I think she's Latina. Because I Love You did win this spot. I think I did expect that. I'm not mad at it though, you know, everything else considered, it was either Now or Lizzo, so, you know, it is what it is. It's okay. Traditional R&B performance goes to Lizzo for Jerome, out of Time Today from BJ the Chicago Kid, Steady Love, Real Games, and Built for Love. I don't remember which one I picked for this one, but I'm not mad at Jerome winning. Jerome was a pretty good song. Lizzo was pretty transparent in this track, as she was in majority of her album. Like I said, I'm not mad at Lizzo for winning any of these spots. If she does win a lot of them, I still thought Cause I Love You was a good album, so I'm not really too upset with this. Best rap and sung performance goes to Higher from Nipsey Hussle, John Legend, and DJ Khaled. I did pick this one to win. It was obviously the best one out of the entire lineup, out of Ballin', The London, Panini, and Drip Too Hard, though I do still really like Drip Too Hard. Yeah, I don't mind this one at all. Nice singing from John Legend. Great verse from Nipsey Hussle, talking about his origin story and his come up right now. And DJ Khaled didn't ruin it. He didn't ruin it. Best R&B song goes to Say So, and I did pick this one. I picked Say So to win from PJ Morton, featuring JoJo, out of Could Have Been, Look at Me Now, No Guidance, and Roll Some Mo. Happy with this pick. I did say it was the most R&B out of the entire lineup, so I'm not mad at it one bit. Best R&B performance goes to Anderson .Paak with Come Home featuring Andre 3000. Happy for Anderson, happy for Andy, happy for the Teeth. Love Again from Daniel Caesar and Brandy is the one I believe I chose to win out of this one, but again, can't be upset that Anderson .Paak took it home. Always appreciative of this dude's soul, his spirit, his voice shines through all the music that he makes. I'm happy with it. R&B album that won, Ventura from Anderson .Paak. Love it. I picked this one to win out of LMA, Paul, Painted, in 1123. Glad he won again. That's 2 Grammys down for Anderson .Paak. Now we get to the best rap album, and like I thought, IGOR was, you strong-armed everyone. IGOR was undoubtedly the one that was going to win if you threw it into the rap category, even though it's not a rap album. Out of Revenge of the Dreamers, 3 championships from Meek Mill, I Am Greater Than I Was, and The Lost Boy. All of these are good albums. They are. Revenge of the Dreamers 3 is probably my least favorite, but I'm not ever saying that it's a bad album. IGOR, out of all of these, it just doesn't belong in the rap. It doesn't belong in the rap category. It doesn't. And Tyler, the Creator, did give an interesting speech on how backhanded of a compliment it felt like, you know, acknowledging someone and saying that, hey, let's give you something, but let's not fully acknowledge you. Let's not put you up against acts that, to me, it will make more sense putting him up against, because even in the context of the record, even if you wanted to say it was an R&B album, that would have made a little bit more sense. But a rap album, just because what? He's known to be a rapper. I could even understand if they wanted to throw Flower Boy into the rap album category, because it's a lot more rapping on Flower Boy than it is on IGOR, but I don't understand why it needs to be rap. I don't. You know, he's a young black guy. He obviously has a history with rap music, but this obviously is not a rap album. I believe he gave a nice comparison when he compared getting a Grammy for best rap album that isn't a rap album to giving your cousin or your little brother the unplugged controller just to appease him. I did think that was a good comparison. And I also saw people giving him some flack and slight criticism for saying that this was a good thing to still be honored for. I want y'all to understand, if you don't, that the Grammys is something that people keep acknowledging, because you got to understand it's much easier to reform something than to completely start from scratch. We came into this country off of a system that was already put in place. And the more and more, you know, time went on, the more and more reform started to happen to allow people to live slightly more comfortably than they were the day before in America. So when you have, like, when you're dealt certain cards, sometimes it's not easy to just abandon and start from scratch. The Grammys is still probably the most high-class award you can win in music, and I could understand the frustration in seeing certain groups, certain demographics not be included in that space, not be included in that spectrum, especially given light all the controversy that's been happening with the Grammys recently. You do have to understand that for a lot of people and for a lot of artists in general, it takes too much more time to build something from scratch than it does to reform an already existing system. So I'm not mad at people for saying, oh, the Grammys are still, you know, a big deal to me, because I want to be included. We just need to make sure that they're inclusive. We need to make sure that they are aware. We need to make sure they're knowledgeable, and we need to make sure that they're fair. That's really it. When you see moves like this, though, I understand the frustration in, well, damn, why would you put him in the rap category? It looks funny. It looks weird. It does. You can't tell me it doesn't look weird to put a clearly R&B/sung album in a rap category just because it's from a black kid. You can't tell me that's not weird. Ed Sheeran's album was more rap than it was singing, than Tyler the Creator's was, and they made sure to put that one in, what was it, album of the year category, or in a certain category. Like, that to me is weird. Ed Sheeran had more hip-hop elements in his music than Tyler the Creator did, and look where Tyler ends up versus Ed Sheeran. So is it a backhanded compliment? Yes. Should he be put off by it? Yes. Am I still understanding in the idea that he's happy he won a Grammy? Yes. Black culture is American culture now. You have to understand that. So if our culture is going to be intertwined with American culture, that culture needs to be acknowledged and respected. Can't just lump all of it to the side when it's one of the main drivers of the numbers for your show. And no amount of you acknowledging Lil X's joke song of a country rap fusion with, you know, Billie Ray Cyrus is going to make us look at you any different. Like I said, if I had to give it to anyone, I obviously would have given it to 21 Savage for I Am Greater Than I Was. I thought it was the most entertaining rap album out of that lineup. I wouldn't have been mad if Meek Mill took it home either, but Tyler shouldn't have been put in that category because they forced everyone else to be shat on, because his was the best album in that category, but it wasn't a rap album. That's all I'm saying. And last but not least, if I can scroll up and we can get to the Billie Eilish cleaned up. She really did. A new artist, Billie Eilish. I've been into the Black Pumas recently. I understand if they didn't win, they're not that big, so that's understandable. It's okay. And what was it? Song of the Year goes to Bad Guy. Honestly, not mad at that, because it's better to me than every other song on this list. Record of the Year goes to Bad Guy over Bon Iver's Hey Ma, Seven Rings, Hard Place. I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this. When we fall asleep, where do we all go? Album of the Year. Why the fuck was Lil Nas X even nominated for an EP? Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Billie Eilish, clean house. I'm not mad. I did see people retweeting a video of Billie Eilish kind of cringing when she won. And look, it's okay. Like, Billie Eilish should not feel bad for winning Grammys. She didn't, in my opinion, steal anything from anyone in her category. I thought she rightfully earned the wins in her spot. I don't think there was anything really wrong with that. I do believe Tyler should have been thrown into the Album of the Year category because his album did fuse way more elements than just R&B, than just rap. I just thought he should have been included. If you're gonna put Lizzo's in there that was extremely theatrical, I don't see a problem with also putting Tyler the Creator's in there. Like, why? I don't get what this is. I really don't. You mean to tell me the only way you can represent black culture is to put a Lil Nas X EP that was average at best into the Album of the Year category, but you couldn't acknowledge Tyler the Creator's IGOR record? Make it make sense. But yeah, Billie Eilish should not be made to feel bad for her Grammy wins. I think that she did a good job. I think that she was the best pick in her categories, and it makes sense, to be honest with you. We have to remember Billie Eilish just turned 18 years old. She's new to this. She's kind of, you know, I think she's trying to be aware, trying to be respectful of cultures and demographics by not going too far, by not reaching too far. And I think it does make her a little uncomfortable when she's acknowledged at such a young age for these type of things, knowing how long other artists have been working for these things, working for inclusivity, working for just acknowledgement of establishments like the Grammys, and they have yet to get them, and she's gotten them at such an early age. I think she's aware of all these things, and to see her win so quickly probably makes her like, oh, I hope I don't get any hate for this. And I understand that because people can be really crazy and not really informed or really understanding that this is still a kid. So don't send hate her way. It's okay. You know, I'm not mad that she won. I think she deserves her spot. Like I said, remember, we're in a space now where black culture is one of the driving forces for American culture, and the dichotomy between the two is getting smaller and smaller by the year. So there may be a point in the future where black culture won't be acknowledged as black culture. It'll just be American culture too. And if that is to be the case, they should be credited everywhere their influence is known. Again, as another warning for Billie Eilish and her fan base, even, is like, you know, this is only going to mean bigger things and more responsibility to a certain degree, and there's not going to be any counseling for this. They're going to throw her at a lot of different things now, and she also needs to be taken care of. I don't care if she's white. She's still a young woman, a young artist, and she needs to have her mental well kept. There's nothing in you that should make you feel undeserving of something that you earned. So there's nothing wrong with her accepting her award with grace, with confidence. There should be nothing wrong with that. The fact that she's been made to feel like, you know, it's a bad thing that she won only goes to show the lack of responsibility that establishments like the Grammys and like, you know, other powerhouses in music that are way higher than she is, that have way more responsibility than she does, because they don't take the flack. She feels the way she feels, and that's not okay, right? It should go to the people that are making the decisions. It should go to the people that are responsible for the lack of inclusivity, for the lack of acknowledgement, for the lack of awareness, for the lack of knowledge. So don't throw hate at Billie Eilish. She's a great artist. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's okay. She won. To me, I think she deserved her wins. And that's how I feel about the Grammys 2020. Tyler, Creator, he definitely should have been acknowledged in the right space. And everybody else, I think, you know, I don't know what else to say. It's hit or miss, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. But yeah, let me know how you felt about the picks in the comment section down below. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it. And that's it. I'm out. Again, I'm still got my mind on Kobe. And even worse, I just remembered that I'm 24. This is too much.